Metro Police have issued a warning for people in southwest Louisville after 6 women were attacked at gunpoint. Now, those attacks stretch back to June. Police believe it might be the same man responsible in each of those attacks. Now, this is the specific area that we're talking about. It's a concentrated cluster that includes Moss Creek Drive, Yazoo Street, and 8 Bells Lane. WHAS11's Connor Steffen and photojournalist Ian Hardwitt heard from neighbors who were on high alert.
In southwest Louisville, a string of attacks has people worried. As Metro Police puts out a warning, some apartment complexes are slipping these safety notices in tenants' doors.
And they had just said basically like there's some incidents that we need to know about. Since
late June, LMPD reports 6 cases where a man with a gun assaulted a woman. They say between midnight and 5 in the morning. LMPD says its sex crimes unit is investigating a 7th incident. Police say they noticed a trend emerging throughout the summer, with all the attacks potentially connected to the same man.
And I seen all the police cars, but again, I still didn't know really what was going on.
The latest happening this morning around 4 on Tallahatchie Street.
And I just heard yelling, so I just walked out on my balcony. I mean, I couldn't really tell where it was coming from at the time.
A woman who lives in the area says she heard screams around that time while getting ready for work. She asked us not to name her or show her face.
I don't want to be the next victim, obviously. You know, you never know who's watching.
A few minutes drive away on Moss Creek Drive, another woman spoke with us under the same conditions.
I have actually never seen anything like this. Sometimes you just never know who's watching.
2 assaults happened near her home. She says she knows one of the victims attacked earlier this month. How is your neighbor doing?
I believe that she is shaken up, but she does seem to be doing okay when I see her. But I am pretty sure that she's scared and shaken up.
Police say in one incident that took place on August 18th at this apartment complex on 8 Bells Lane, a man got into a woman's car, held her at gunpoint, forcing her to drive to an ATM and took her money. Police are asking for any and all help in these cases and are possibly looking for one suspect, described in all 6 cases as a thin-built black man with light skin, standing about 5'10", carrying a gun and wearing black clothes and a black mask.
And we all have to watch out for each other around here in this community.
As neighbors look out for one another, police are reminding people to be careful, especially after dark. LMPD recommends people travel in numbers if possible. Park in well-lit areas, trust your instincts, and avoid distractions like your phone while outside your house. A reminder to stay safe and stay looking out for one another. In southwest Louisville, Connor Steffen, WHAS11 on your side.
The LMPD are giving us updates and answering some questions about this investigation right now. We are going to give you some updates on that coming up today at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, if you have any information about any of these incidents, make sure you call the anonymous tip line. That's 574 LMPD, or you can use the online portal. Now to an update from the Environmental Protection Agency about the Highview home with suspected hazardous chemicals. The EPA says they have identified mercury inside and outside of the home located next door. Now, Mark Hibble was charged with first and second degree burglary and wanton endangerment. It's important to note that the city's recommendation to burn down the home on Applegate Lane is next door at 6213, but the home where they found mercury was where Hibble was squatting. That's 6211. Due to the EPA's findings, they've recommended a cleanup at that home. According to the EPA, they will announce their recommendations on if the city should burn down the home at 6213 middle of next week. 2 JCPS students are recovering after the bus that they were in got hit by a car. The crash happened Thursday afternoon near Butler Traditional High School. Shively police say officers responded to the crash near Crumbs Lane just before 3 o'clock. JCPS told us 2 elementary school students were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Staying with JCPS right now, the district has closed the bus hotline many families were using to figure out their students' bus routes. The district increased staffing to help with busing issues. A district spokesperson says the hotline is always temporary every year. Now schools and the transportation team will work with families who have any problems. We are seeing improvements in the JCPS drop-off times. Each day, it's a minute-by-minute improvement. Last night, according to the district, the last student was dropped off at 7:08 p.m. That's within 10 minutes of the last drop-off on Wednesday night, that occurring at 6:59 p.m. But it all comes as Superintendent Dr. Marty Polio for the past 2 weeks has continued to hint at the possibility for major change to the busing system, even evaluating whether they can continue to serve every family that wants transportation. We're told this will be discussed during the fall break, the first week of October. Our Isaiah Kim Martinez is talking with other school districts across the country.
Well, Dr. Marty Polio has said it again and again. JCPS is far from the only school district battling driver shortages and having to make sacrifices. He says JCPS is keeping its options open, so we're looking at specific measures other cities are taking.
In his latest bus route update, Superintendent Polio encouraging families to see each drop-off time with context.
If you haven't seen in Chicago public schools, right now the only students that are getting transportation are those that are guaranteed by law.
Polio again mentioning the possibility for major changes in the future.
These challenges will continue to the point where we're going to have to evaluate, do we continue to provide these services for every single family who chooses.
For perspective, we reached out to Chicago Public Schools, who told WHAS11 News out of more than 340,000 students they serve, only 17,000 of them are eligible for school bus transportation. That school district tells us they're hundreds of bus drivers short. In a statement, a spokesperson saying, quote, reducing route length has resulted in fewer students receiving transportation services for the upcoming school year, end quote. Meanwhile,
this was definitely the answer for those parents who were concerned. It was also the answer for the bus driving shortage at that time.
In the Northeast, the school district of Philadelphia is paying eligible parents to drive their kids to school rather than taking the school bus.
Parents can receive up to $300 per month per household.
Spokesperson Monique Braxton tells me they first rolled the initiative out as a pilot program in 2020 to address their driver shortage, and it's expanded since.
Is it the perfect way to do it? Maybe not, but I think for right now, it is working in the city.
I asked JCPS officials if they're considering either of these methods. A school district spokesperson telling me, quote, we are discussing all options, but we have not made any decisions at this point. Right now, our main focus has been getting kids back in school. In Louisville, Isaiah Kim Martinez, WHAS 11 on your side.
We also learned that Chicago Public Schools are working with the citywide bus provider to give students bus cards to pay for public transportation at no cost to families. Now in Louisville, TARC told us that JCPS is paying TARC for tickets and then giving them to many Louisville students at no cost to families. JCPS says TARC isn't able to commit to being a part of the regular yellow bus service because of their existing scheduled runs. U.S. Congressman McGarvey has suggested adding federal funding to help attract more bus drivers. In a letter to the Department of Education, McGarvey noted this isn't normally a federal issue. He says the additional resources would help alleviate the driver shortage and provide some relief to current drivers. McGarvey, who is also a JCPS parent, says his son was still at school around 6 o'clock in the evening on the first day of school because of the transportation disaster. Today, history will be made as Jacqueline Gwynn Villarroel will be officially sworn in as the chief of the Metro Police Department. She is the first black woman to permanently lead the department. She spent 6 months as interim chief, and in that time, she navigated the LMPD through the DOJ issuing their consent decree and the mass shooting at Old National Bank. The ceremony starts at 6 p.m. at the Muhammad Ali Center.